Well, that intro says it all. We're going to end the day with an exploration of the universe with Dr. Dain.
Thank you, Miss Emily. Before that, this has been said so many times today, but I have to express my gratitude for the amazing people that put this on and the amazing people we get to live our lives with as a result of Gary's choice to create Access in the first place. And I see my friends talking and listen to their level of eloquence and brilliance, and this is a sincere invitation for more, and it just melts my world. That is the world I would like to see. That is the world, not just that I would like to see, which I have had the sense of for a long time. That is the world that is now going to be. Does that make you lighter when I say it?
Yes.
Me too. You know what? Enough acting like the underdog, enough believing that what you know can't come true. You've seen hundreds of people today that are proof that it can come true. Now, if you ask them, is your life perfect? They go, no. Why? Because it's not about being perfect. It's about there is always more. There is always more. No matter how happy you get, there's more. No matter how conscious you get, there's more. No matter how much money you have, there's more. No matter how much of you have, there's more. And that is the beautiful part about it. It makes sure you'll never get bored on the journey. Like, ever get bored on the journey. And today has been such a phenomenal space, a phenomenal invitation. I'm so grateful to be part of this. And also, I truly have to thank Emily, Brett, and Georgia especially, though there were many other people who contributed to this. But they spent hours upon hours upon hours. Georgia learned to edit videos. Like, what the, hello, new skill, new marketable skill, you know? So good. And Miss Emily, Danielle, who was supposed to run the switchboard, was sick. So, not this Emily.
Different Emily.
The other Emily.
Confusing.
There's another Emily over there. We're like filled with Emilys. It's great. Just you could throw a rock in Access and hit an Emily is how it works, basically. But Brett spent an entire day training her on how to run this thing because she's never done it before. She's part of our tech team, but Danielle was sick and she was the only one. Our two guys could not come here from Mexico to do it, but that's our people. People will step in to contribute anywhere they freaking can. And sometimes it's a big inconvenience, but they do it anyway because the target is so much bigger than anything else. And it's so desired by all of us. And I thank you all for, whether you're dipping your toe in today or just decided to dive in the deep end, thank you. Really, thank you for being here. And for you guys who've been here all day in the room, thank you. What a great pleasure it is to have you in person. Yay, you. So cool. And for you guys online who've been here all day, thank you also. Woo. I'm just really touched and perceive a space of possibilities that is starting to go from possibility, where you have that sense of a space of possibilities, that is actually starting to coalesce and aggregate and begin to actualize. It's beginning to become reality. That is because of all of us. And the funny part is you have no idea what choices you've made that are contributing to that. But pretty much every choice you make for more lightness, desiring more, is what contributes to that. So 21 years ago, I was blessed with opening up something called ESB, Energetic Synthesis of Being. Gary walked into my office after my first foundation class, and he basically wanted stuff I could not provide. And he said, look, ask my body what it wants, follow the energy, you will know what to do. First person in my life that ever said I would know what to do, especially the first person who had ever created an entire body of work. All of those people told me, do it this way, do it this way, do it this way, do it my way, do it this way, do it this way. And Gary said, you will know what to do. And I was like, oh, shit. And at the same time, I was like, oh, yeah. And they were living together in my world. And there was this energy that came through that blew me the fuck away. I was in the presence of something that was so beautiful that I had no idea what it was, had no idea what it could do, had no idea why the hell I was the one accessing it. And it's become what I now call ESB, that is, by extension, something called SOP, Symphony of Possibilities. But I started working on people energetically and seeing things change on a level that blew me away. It was what I always wanted to create. It's why I became a chiropractor in the first place. I wanted to create friggin' miracles. I wanted to see people have access to them. And with this first session, it actually happened, and I went, oh my God, this is so cool. And then I thought to myself, I wonder if I can do it on someone else. You know, because I'd done it on Gary. And lo and behold, the next person I worked on, it blew their universe apart. And I was like, wow, thank you, universe. Whatever provided this, I am so grateful. And I will shepherd it to the best of my ability. I will be its person here. Just show me the way, show me what to do. And so anyway, 21 years later, been a lot of people who have received some part of this. And now for the last, 8 years, we've had 7 years, 6 years, we've had something called SOP, which is where people do this their way. They do their thing. Anyway, so my question to you is, and one of the things I love about this, as I'm talking, I would really like it if we could give the translators around the world a hand, please. Thank you guys so much. Another group of people who are like, yep, we'll do it. How long do I have to work? Okay, no problem. I'll have a lot of Coke and water on hand. And maybe sexual favors provided later. Those will be on tap after. Anyway, this year, what if 22 could be different? 2020, I keep calling it 22. Does anybody else do that? Am I the only one that's like, all right, hey, welcome to 22? Like, Dain, you're about 2,000 years early, bro. Or late. What if 2022 could be different? And that is my question to you. What is it you have perceived? What is it you've seen? What is it you've received today that goes way beyond words, but is a sense of possibility that you, like I, have probably always hoped could exist? This shit is real, kids. Actually, it's non-real, okay? It doesn't require anybody else's alignment and agreement. It doesn't require anybody else to get it for you to have it. Go in the direction of that lightness, please. And have you seen anything today that inspired you for, yes, I would like that as my life, I would like that as our world? Ask for it right now, please. Okay? Yes? Yes. Now, cool. And let all of the things you perceive today that opened up your world, let those be present and allow yourself to have even more of whatever it is. And be willing to receive whatever will contribute to that, okay? That's what this session is actually about. This session is actually about creating a future, a different future, a future that has all of the elements of possibility you perceived today, and before and after today, okay? The way this works is no way I can begin to describe or explain. It's basically where quantum physics meets miracles, as far as I can tell. It's like if quantum physics and miracles had a conscious baby, ESB would be it, okay? So what I'm going to ask you to do, some of you may receive more if you close your eyes. Some of you will be thinking your entire way through this thing, which is really funny because you think that your thinking will determine what you can keep out so you don't have to receive too much, so you don't have to change too much, so you can be in control of your life still. But while you're thinking, ESB is going underneath your brain going, I'm sneaking in the back door anyway, nanny, nanny, nanny. I love it. There's so much space in this room and around the world right now that you notice, I don't know if you did hear me speak today when I mentioned when you get to a spaciness where a lot of people kind of go, oh, let me figure something else out. Let me solidify something. Well, that spaciness is here, okay? For me, though, with this, it can actually use it even more because when you have that spaciness, there's even more that can actually be contributed to you. There will be periods of this where I do not talk. It's one of the ways you know it must be miraculous. Because if I'm not talking, there's either something wrong or a miracle going on. Meme. Okay. Just ponder for a moment if you walked in step with the whole universe. If the universe were one of your greatest friends and allies and contributors. As an infinite being that is what is, for you are the universe. Which means all of your normal human stuff doesn't have to be normal or human ever again. Today we have punched a hole in the fabric of reality. What do you say we tear the fucker apart? And the funny part is it is your gentleness, your non-fight, but your intense request of the universe and demand for something greater. If this reality had us pointing down a path that is that direction, how about if instead we go this way? Let's go together. Let's have more fun than anybody is supposed to. And if you're somewhere in China right now wondering, Jesus Christ, what is this energy? There is no distance in consciousness, my beautiful friends. The way you kill this reality is by ignoring it and creating beyond it. This reality is not bad and wrong, it's just not yours. You don't need to fight it. And the less you fight it, the more you will have of you and what is actually possible that you've never considered could be. It's designed to give you more space of you, whatever that is. Some people have the stream on right now and they've fallen asleep and they're having the weirdest fucking dreams they've ever had. And this is not me doing anything to you. Except contributing something that you have the total freedom to choose or not. In fact, this is where your choice awakens. It's where your choice begins. So be it. There is a lot more available than you've ever imagined, my beautiful friends. Part of my target is to make bullshit less relevant for you, and space and possibilities far more accessible, far faster than it would have occurred. The miracles will find you if you will let them. Just ask every day, universe, show me something beautiful and miraculous. For things you want to change and don't know how, I'm asking for a miracle with this, please. Not to put that outside of you, but the ability to request and actualize a miracle is a dynamic capacity. It's like the lady in the Deadpool 2 movie who has, when they ask, what is your superpower? She says, luck. I don't think that's a superpower. Oh, yeah, it is. And she's the one who survives and thrives and also makes sure everybody else doesn't die. It's kind of like you, except you don't want to know it. You want to think other people will be that for you. They won't. Unless you are willing to be it for you. And then there's a 22.7897% chance that they will. Now, some of you don't believe you get energy. I totally get that. You may or may not feel anything. I used to think I didn't get energy up to the moment where this thing called ESB kicked my ass. Most people who think they don't get energy, it's because they've experienced so much and so intensely, they decided it was overwhelming. They decided they had to shut it down, so they put up walls around them to try to not experience what they decided was too painful or too harsh. Everything that is for you that keeps you from accessing the space of the energetic being you truly be, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. Now is the space, my beautiful friends. The beginning in the doorway to actualize something that has truly never existed before in any way we can recognize. Something in which your hopes and dreams are gifts that propel you forward to those things you can create. I do need to ask, will you let me in, please? Will you let me in more? Will you let this in more? It's not really letting me in, but it is. In actuality, it's letting you in. I promise whatever you find, if you let you in and let this in, will only make your life greater. I don't promise very often, but that I can and will. Such a harsh world we live in, my beautiful friends. But you are not. And sources of nurturance and sustenance and the gentleness and kindness you crave are all around. Please ask for them. Please ask for more kindness, more gentleness, more contribution, more receiving, more joy, more space, more space, more space, more space, more space for all of us. On 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. 12. And if you don't know what that is, go to a foundation class, you'll find out. Interestingly, in Access, we actually believe in miracles. Which is basically something that occurs without us understanding how or why. That is what occurs when you be you. Now is the space, my beautiful friends, for opening a door that has never been opened before. Not of significance, but of possibilities. And if you're falling asleep, please fall asleep. It is your body's attempt to get you out of the way of it receiving. Good body. Let me put it this way also. The worst thing that will happen during this is nothing. So if you don't believe in all this energetic woo-woo shit, I don't blame you. I didn't either. So you can just be entertained by watching me be an idiot on stage. I close my eyes so I don't see your mocking glances. A few months ago, I got over not being willing to be as weird as I actually am. I know that sounds weird. See what I did there? I would do something like this and try to make it seem normal. No more. People get it or they don't, and it doesn't matter. Because those who get it are creating enough change to where those who don't get it aren't able to stop it anymore. And it's not about getting it, like, hey, I believe in what you're doing. That's not the getting it I'm talking about. The getting it is the getting that there's something else to be gotten. I'm sure the translators are loving me right now. They're like, dude. If you see a translator in a puddle near you, please run their bars. Just put your hands in the general direction of where their head used to be and see if you can unpuddle them. I know I'm weird. The original meaning of weird was of spirit, fate, or destiny. I used to care that I was weird and care what people thought about me. And I realized if I do that, I'm limiting every moment of my life to validate somebody else's judgment. And I'm inherently saying that their judgment of me is more valuable to me than my enjoyment of being me. What if 2022 is the year of fuck it? The year of I have no more fucks to give about your fucking judgments of me. Love me, hate me, judge me, your choice. Feel free to lead, feel free to follow, but get the fuck out of my way. The only request I have of you is please notice what is different in the next couple of weeks and months. And set an alarm or reminder for 5 or 6 months from now, if you would, please. And write on that, what the fuck happened after Global Bars Day? And just see. And write down your list of wows. Your list of, when you get to 2023, at least 10 things. 10 things that if you had them when you got to 2023, you'd be like, wow! Wow! Oh, that's better. That was a lot better. That was much more fun level of energy. How about you? How much have you been suppressing, depressing, repressing, all those pressings on you and the energy and everything you have available? Everything that is, we destroy and uncreate it on 3. 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. You are no longer alone, my beautiful friends. You are no longer alone. You are no longer the only weirdo of your kind. Trust me, I know people weirder than you. Now is the space, my beautiful friends. Now is the space. Will you please now give up everywhere you decided that being normal would create what you desired in life? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. What magic and miraculousness awaits you just in the next 12 months. Anybody willing to kill the COVID Gestapo now? On 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12! Gee, I hope there's not a church group next door. We are the church group. Thank you. You have the ability to melt anything. We're taught by this reality that force is necessary to create massive change. There's a difference between force and potency. And potency has a resoluteness and is the ability to change anything. very, very seldom even approaching anything that looks like force. And you were willing to be the most aware 500-pound gorilla in the room. It's surprising and amazing how the rest of the room turns itself to match your awareness of what is possible. You've been pretending to be less than you know you are. You've been pretending to be less than others, especially those who judge and who use force and violence. The space is now, my beautiful friends, for that which you know to be, that which is beyond reality to be, that which is a non-reality reality, that is who and what and how you truly can be. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I'd like to call upon your knowing to awaken within you. Your knowing. It's not a function of me or anyone else. It's a function of what you be. We'd like to call upon your perceiving, your receiving, your being, your infiniteness and infinite space, and the infinite communion you have as the space between every molecule, and the communion you share with the molecules of the entire universe. It is only the people on this planet that do not share in the communion. They do not share because they refuse. They do not share because they separate. They do not share because their sense of the need of personal space keeps them from the gift of being the space of the universe. Every other creature in the universe knows, functions as and from the oneness of its interconnection with all things. Therefore, it knows what it is. It knows who it is. And it is also continuously exploring more. That knowing is not a definition that contracts and constricts. That knowing is an awareness that elevates and expands and creates a sense of communion and connection with the entire universe. Will you, if you desire, ask for that now, please? Even though you probably lost me at molecule. Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Translators are like, Dain said some profound shit in English. Molecule, space, universe, choose. And lastly, I invite the lightness to your life and living. A lightness you may not have valued or understood or known could even be possible for you, let alone something that would be the jumping off point to create more than your wildest dreams would allow. Now is the space, my beautiful friends. May the lightness also be yours. So be it. Oh. Hello. How you doing? Some people are like, I just watch a guy close his eyes and do weird shit. I don't usually close my eyes during these sessions. That's not usually a thing. Everyone is what it is. Oh my God, we have a Karen online. That's so good. A Chinese Karen. So good. How are you guys?
Phenomenal.
Well, I hope that contributed. Yes. Wow.
I could think of no better way to end Lobo Bars Day.
Awesome. Wow. Wow. Thank you for going on that journey. And if you're like, what journey did we just go on? You went on the journey. That's it. You're like, where the fuck? Who? You become part of that famous Indian tribe, the Fakawi, where you're like, who the fuck are we? Yeah, I was going on the journey. Wow. This is kind of like nuclear radiation. You can't really be in its presence and not be affected by it. It's just kind of the way it works. And I do also acknowledge there are so many people who have been invalidated for their energetic capacities, or they've done stuff that said it was about energy and it was really about significance. And so I'm always aware of that also. And then certain people who've lived their lives avoiding anything that had to do with energy because mom and dad did and blah, blah, blah. So there's so many layers of this, of ways in which we have of trying to fit ourselves into a normal box that isn't actually our box, but that also keeps us from the awareness of the subtle energetic connection we have with everything, and the awareness that will allow us to actualize everything. So I'm hoping a lot of that changes for you in the next year, both with today, but also with what we just did. Set that alarm for 6 months in the future and just see what changed. It's interesting, I've done that before, and I'm like, and the thing the alarm comes up about, I'm like, what is that? What did I do? And then I go, oh, and I'm like, oh. It always amazes me how much can change in that amount of time. Now, more than ever. Part of what has been going on around the world is an attempt to slow things down. You know what I say to that? Fuck it. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dain.
Woo! Woo!
We want to bring everybody up on stage who contributed to say thank you to everybody. So
all of you who
guys who
contributed.
were, you know who you are.
You all,
Brett, I don't know if
you.
Emily can leave the switchboard. Georgia, Brendan, Julia, Sarah, everyone, all you guys. And I know it's so many more. The website editor, amazing wizard teams, what they've done, the customer service that's been online all day for everybody. The people, just thank you guys. But we just wanted to say thank you as a thank you.
I wanted to acknowledge all these beautiful people. These are the ones in the room.
You can take a break.
Pam.
It's like a chorus line.
It is.
A chorus line of consciousness. Whoa.
Thank you all. Thank everybody here. Thank you guys online. Thank everyone for coming live. All the people in the events around the world who've gotten together to run bars. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. And thank you, Gary Douglas, for Access Bars and Access Consciousness. Yeah!